รายการต่อไปนี้เป็นรายการทั่วไปสามารถรับชมได้ทุกวัย
สนับสนุนโดยแลกเงินด้วยบัตรเครดิตกสิกรไทยเที่ยวก่อนจ่ายทีหลังไม่มีค่าธรรมเนียมผ่อนชำระได้จากธนาคารกสิกรไทย
สวัสดีค่ะวันที่ 25 พฤศจิกายนของทุกปีเป็นวันยุติความรุนแรงต่อสตรีสากลถึงแม้ว่าโลกเราทุกวันนี้จะมีความก้าวหน้าไปมากแต่ผู้หญิงก็ยังตกเป็นเหยื่อของความรุนแรงโดยเฉพาะอย่างยิ่งจากคนรอบข้างไม่ว่าจะเป็นสามีหรือว่าคนในครอบครัวเองนะคะมองเรามองโลกได้มีโอกาสพูดคุยกับดร.ภูมิเซเล่มาลัมโบจนุค่าผู้อำนวยการของ UN Women หรือองค์การเพื่อสตรีแห่งสหประชาชาติเกี่ยวกับประเด็นนี้รวมถึงความท้าทายอื่นๆที่ผู้หญิงทั่วโลกต้องเผชิญค่ะ UN Women หรือองค์การเพื่อสตรีแห่งสหประชาชาติเริ่มต้นขึ้นเมื่อปี 2010 เพื่อสร้างความเสมอภาคทางเพศส่งเสริมศักยภาพของผู้หญิงให้ผู้หญิงมีความเป็นผู้นำมีส่วนร่วมในเรื่องต่างๆมีโอกาสทางเศรษฐกิจและที่สำคัญคือการยุติความรุนแรงต่อผู้หญิงดร.ภูมิเซเล่มาลัมโบจนุค่าเข้าดำรงตำแหน่งผู้อำนวยการ UN Women ในปี 2013 ก่อนหน้านั้นเธอเคยทำงานทั้งในภาครัฐภาคสังคมและภาคเอกชนเธอเคยร่วมในการต่อสู้เพื่อยุติการแบ่งแยกสีผิวในแอฟริกาใต้บ้านเกิดของเธอด้วยในปี 2005 ถึง 2008 ดร.ภูมิเซเล่ดำรงตำแหน่งรองประธานาธิบดีแอฟริกาใต้ดูแลโครงการที่ต่อสู้กับความยากจนสร้างประโยชน์ทางเศรษฐกิจแก่คนยากไร้โดยเฉพาะอย่างยิ่งกับผู้หญิง Dr. Pumsele, what are the biggest issues about women that UN Women is working on today?
One of the biggest issues facing the women in the world today is violence. Violence against women that women experience at their own homes because 70% of the violence committed against women is committed at home by a partner, a husband or a boyfriend, but also violence that is being faced by women who are in conflict areas, especially the terrorists. Women are not caught in the crossfire only. Women are the targets because they want to steal them, they want to enslave them, and they actually see women's bodies as part of the spoils of war. So the whole issue of violence is a big issue. And of course, women's economic empowerment. The majority of the people who are poor and hungry, it's still women. And that is also linked to women's access to good education.
It's not okay.
no no stop no
โครงการรณรงค์เพื่อยุติความรุนแรงต่อสตรีของสหประชาชาติเริ่มต้นขึ้นในปี 2008 และกำหนดให้ทุกวันที่ 25 พฤศจิกายนของทุกปีเป็นวันยุติความรุนแรงต่อสตรีสากลโดยใช้สีส้มเป็นสัญลักษณ์แสดงถึงอนาคตที่สดใสปราศจากความรุนแรงทั่วโลกจะมีการจัดกิจกรรมรณรงค์ต่างๆเป็นเวลา 16 วันนับตั้งแต่วันที่ 25 พฤศจิกายนไปจนถึงวันที่ 10 ธันวาคมซึ่งเป็นวันสิทธิมนุษยชน And November 25th of every year is the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. So for this year, is there any special projects in order to raise even more awareness about violence against women?
Yes, we will be emphasizing this year a lot on the solutions, on the best practice. We will be sharing case studies wherever we will be speaking, but also we will trying to highlight the different types of violence against women, the physical violence, the trafficking of women and girls, the violence against women online, which is also increasing, but also showing the data and the statistics so that people can see how big the problem is. The other thing that we want to emphasize is the fact that this is a universal problem. It occurs in every country on earth. There isn't a country that does not have this problem. It's one of the most universal phenomena.
What is the statistics like in Asia Pacific in particular?
The global average of violence against women is that 1 out of 3 women lives with violence against women. There are parts of the Asia Pacific where that is higher. In fact, the Pacific specifically is also known as the epicenter for violence against women, where more than 60% of the women will experience violence in their lifetime. So we have to be concerned. We did a study more than a year ago where we interviewed about 1,000 men and about rape and others. And out of the study, about 60% of men had been engaged in one form or the other of violence against women. What was even more worrying was that they just thought that's the way life is. It didn't to them seem like they were committing a crime. They were just living their lives. And therefore the engagement and the education and accountability of men is very important. We must not leave men outside the discussion.
เมื่อเดือนกันยายนที่ผ่านมาผู้นำโลกกว่า 80 ประเทศได้มาประชุมกันที่สหประชาชาติโดยให้คำมั่นสัญญาว่าจะร่วมกันยุติความไม่เท่าเทียมของผู้หญิงให้ได้ภายในปี 2030 ซึ่งถือเป็นเหตุการณ์ประวัติศาสตร์ที่มีการร่วมกันให้คำมั่นสัญญาในเรื่องนี้โดยบุคคลระดับผู้นำประเทศ During the UN summit, world leaders actually commit in order to help end violence against women. What can we expect more from countries around the world?
We're now going to go around the countries and to ask them for firm plans and for some time frames. We would like already in March next year, during the convention of the status of women, to begin to indicate whether what is being done or what the plans are. And then we will stay with those plans for a couple of years because none of these problems just at one go, but these are multi-year initiatives that are needed. And we want to see that these initiatives are there and that what is being proposed is also measurable. In some cases, the statements were broad. We want now to reduce them into measurable and specific targets and impacts.
What type of action plans or measures that UN Women want to see governments around the world actually do?
Well, we don't have a one-size-fits-all, but we will have a one-size-fits-all monitoring mechanism. All countries will be monitored, and we are going to produce a scorecard, which scorecard we will publish every year to see, especially, for instance, in relation to the Sustainable Development Goals and Goal 5 and specifically. But also we're going to support the countries and help them so that we know there will be difficulties. When they have those difficulties, they must not feel that they are alone.
Are there any countries who have done relatively well in the past on eliminating violence against women?
No.
No.
Unfortunately, it is really is a problem. You do have pockets of excellence, maybe in a specific town, in a specific community, in initiatives that are being undertaken by civil society, but we do not have right now something that you could talk about as a major systemic change. The countries that with more resources and a strong human rights culture like the Scandinavian countries, you see progress, but even in those countries, 1 out of 3 women lives with violence, and liquor, amongst other things, plays an important role in the behavior.
What is the root cause of the problem? The mentality of
The
men? Or what is it?
stereotypes against women are very strong. And for a long time, leaders and communities would say that, you cannot do anything about culture. We can do something about culture. Culture is not static. Culture is dynamic. We can actually change the culture. And the lack of zero tolerance. There is a high degree of tolerance of violence against women and prejudices against women in general. And that is perpetuated by both men and women, unfortunately.
I am a he for she.
I am a he for she.
I am a he for she.
We are he for she.
He for She เป็นโครงการของ UN Women ที่ส่งเสริมให้ผู้ชายลุกขึ้นมารณรงค์คัดค้านความไม่เท่าเทียมกันทางเพศและสนับสนุนให้ผู้หญิงมีสิทธิ์และโอกาสเท่าเทียมกับผู้ชายโครงการนี้ถูกประกาศครั้งแรกในปี 2014 โดยทูตสันทวไมตรีของ UN Women เอมมาวัตสันนักแสดงหญิงชื่อดังจากเรื่องแฮร์รี่พอตเตอร์เพียงแค่ 48 ชั่วโมงหลังจากการรณรงค์นี้ออกมามีผู้ชายมากถึง 85,000 คนลงชื่อสนับสนุนโครงการนี้ UN Women also have this very interesting campaign called He for She. What is that?
This campaign is to reach out to men and boys so that they can also play a role, they can take responsibility, they can find their own resources, contribute in solving the problems, they can own the problems. Men must be in the forefront of ending violence against women. Can you imagine if all men were to say, I will not beat up a woman ever in my life? Or men will say, I will not marry a child. Or men were to say, I will not accept a pay that is not equal to that of my woman counterpart for the same work. We reduce significantly the problems that we're dealing with.
Would they feel they're being sidelined somehow? Women always come first.
No, they shouldn't, because the problem is so big. But also, you don't want to discriminate against men. So where we see issues where men also face certain inequality and discrimination, we also want to take up those issues. That's why we talk about gender equality, because we also want both men and women to be equal.
Girls' education, is it still a very big problem today?
It is a big problem because the majority of children who are out of school are girls. Those who drop out of school are girls. They drop out because families prepare to keep boys at school longer, because of early pregnancies, because of early marriage, and because girls are used a lot by families for unpaid care work. If there are chores at home, if there is no infrastructure in a country, it is a girl that will go out and fetch water. An 11-year-old must not go to school because a 50-year-old man is sitting at home waiting for someone to bring her water. So these are some of the challenges that we still have.
Any improvements at all?
Well, there are improvements. The number of girls who are going to school now is definitely much higher. The number of girls that are graduating is much higher. Not enough of them are being employed at senior level, even if they graduate out of universities with very good colors. Also, there is improvement in the number of women that are taking senior position, but definitely not enough. What has happened is that women have demonstrated that they can do the job. So there is no excuse not to appoint them. There is also good data that is being generated, for instance, by private sector. Companies like McKinsey, like Ernst & Young, like Pricewaterhouse, coming up with numbers and showing that when you employ women at senior level, you increase the profitability of the company and the performance of the company. So that, I think, is an improvement, because it's not me the usual suspect who's saying that. You actually have a private sector also making the case.
ที่ผ่านมาสหประชาชาติได้แต่งตั้งบุคคลที่มีชื่อเสียงหลายคนให้เป็นทูตสันทวไมตรีเพื่อกระตุ้นและดึงดูดให้ผู้คนหันมาสนใจในโครงการรณรงค์ต่างๆมากขึ้นเช่นมาลาลา ยูซัฟไซที่รณรงค์เรื่องการเข้าถึงการศึกษาของเด็กผู้หญิงนิโคล คิดแมนที่รณรงค์การยุติความรุนแรงต่อผู้หญิงและเอมม่า วัตสันที่รณรงค์ความเท่าเทียมทางเพศของผู้หญิงเป็นต้น
That's using superstars or celebrities and activists like Malala Yousafzai and other Hollywood stars to help promote and raise awareness about women's issues. Does that actually help?
Well, it is because at the very least you get the message out there because those people have got followers and fans. And with the social media now, through them you are able to talk to the people that you otherwise don't talk because they will not go to the UN Women website. But they will go to Malala's website, they will go to Emma Watson's website, and then through that they get the message.
แม้ว่าในยามที่เกิดสงครามผู้หญิงจะตกเป็นเหยื่อที่ได้รับผลกระทบเป็นอย่างมากแต่จากข้อมูลของ UN Women พบว่าในการเจรจาข้อตกลงสันติภาพในช่วงปี 1992 ถึงปี 2011 มีผู้หญิงอยู่เพียง 9% เท่านั้นจากจำนวนผู้เจรจาทั้งหมด
Women and their role in conflict resolution and peace building, has that improved over the years?
Not enough. We have now in all peace agreements a bigger reference to women and girls. That has increased significantly. Also, more and more peace agreements, when they are signed and negotiated, there's consultation with women and girls. But women who are actually sitting in the table negotiating, that you still have in single-digit percentage. You are not getting, and the governments that are not at war need also to take an active role in making sure that when the peace is being negotiated, they encourage those that are negotiating to actually bring in women and girls, because we cannot have a situation where those who fight are the ones who have the right to make peace, and those who never fight are the ones who are being excluded. Because as someone said, peace agreements, you have bad men forgiving other bad men in front of television. It cannot be like that. You need sustainable peace. We've just done a report which shows that lasting peace and sustainable end of conflict increases significantly. By 15 years of peace that you get, the chances that you'll get up to 15 years increases by 35% if you involve women.
Wow, so women is such a big factor. Why is that? How does women change the whole dynamics of conflict resolution?
Because women do not start wars, when they go into the negotiations, they want ceasefire, and they want it badly. Women care about humanitarian. Women also make sure that when there is a stumbling block during the negotiation, they facilitate the way forward. They compromise better. They make a contribution to the peace discussions that addresses issues that affect broader communities, so that the solutions that are achieved is not about winning or losing by one side or the other. They are always looking for win-win, and they always make sure that the broader community also benefits from the agreements that are signed and adopted.
Have we seen more political participation on the part of women around the world?
Where there has been a conflict and women participate in a political settlement, the participation of women post-conflict increases. The numbers become very high. Liberia, for instance, women participated. They even ended up with a woman president. Even a country like Burundi, significant participation of women. Philippines, women participated in the peace agreements, and they continue to play a significant role. Colombia now is bringing its peace process to a close. Women are participating very actively, and that peace agreement has got lots of good things for the community, not just for the two parties that are negotiating.
How can we all as individuals actually help to promote women's rights?
I think that we all have to make sure that we are on the right side of the argument. that we have zero tolerance for the violation of rights of women. We also challenge the underrepresentation of women in decision-making bodies. We have had situations in Australia where there are CEOs who will not sit in a panel which is an all-male panel. That is very significant. That is them taking a stand. Some of the CEOs that are signatories of he for she, that is some of the commitment that they will make. They are addressing equal pay, they are addressing representation of women in their companies, and they are also looking at how they could end the motherhood penalty, which is the denial of equal rights for women because they go to maternity. Because when women have children, these children belong to both men and women, but women then end up being the ones that are denied promotion, additional income. It is an expectation that because a woman is supposed to have a partner, that partner will support the children. We all know it does not happen like that.
You used to be the deputy president of South Africa. Did you break the glass ceiling somehow in your country?
Well, but one is not enough. The real breaking of the glass ceiling is when you've got lots and lots of women sitting in boards. Of course, in South Africa, the women in parliament and in politics are significantly represented. We have got almost half of the cabinet is ministers are women. You've got close to 40% of women in parliament and so on. But it's not at state level, it's not like that. At local government, it's not like that. So the battle is still on even there. So one deputy minister, it's not good enough.
Would the world become a more peaceful place if we have more women leaders around the world?
Well, because show me a woman who started a war. And I'll show you many more men who have.
ทุกวันนี้ถึงแม้ว่าโอกาสของผู้หญิงจะมีมากขึ้นเมื่อเทียบกับเมื่อก่อนแต่ว่าข้อจำกัดก็ยังมีไม่น้อยนะคะที่ทำให้ผู้หญิงไม่สามารถแสดงศักยภาพของตัวเองได้อย่างเต็มที่เพราะฉะนั้นถ้าเกิดว่าเราทุกคนไม่ว่าจะเป็นผู้หญิงหรือผู้ชายก็ตามช่วยกันทำลายกำแพงตรงนี้ลงไปได้ก็จะทำให้ผู้หญิงนั้นได้มีโอกาสแสดงศักยภาพและร่วมสร้างสรรค์สังคมให้ดีขึ้นค่ะพบกันใหม่สัปดาห์หน้าวันนี้สวัสดีค่ะ